And in closing, I want to end on a personal note. The other reason why that videotape got to me was because it reminded me of my mother. You remember I said that I bought long-term care because I didn't want my wife Geraldine and myself to be a burden to our children. But you know what? I never saw it from my mother's perspective. And that's what that video brought out. And I'll always be sorry for perhaps the times we weren't too charitable with her, just to break some of the tension. But you know, I'd like to show you my mom now. I'd like to put her on the screen. There's another part to my mother's story. Those are my two sisters, and not long after it, my brother came, and then I came. And when I was 6 months old, my very successful attorney father died without life insurance. And my mother then had to go out and work as a secretary to raise all of us. She had to make some very hard decisions. You see those girls? None of them went to college at the appropriate time, even though one got a full scholarship, because the girls had to work to make sure that the boys could get through school. How do you like that little sibling dynamic? Well, she worked hard. She got us through. I graduated, and then she got sick. And then after she got sick, she began to see that she would become dependent. And as my mother would say it is, I would be inconvenient. And so she willed herself to die. And that's why she's not here, to see her son. And you know what? I don't think that people deserve to go out like that. And I want to know, where was the person of significance, the advocate who could have taken my father, even pushed him up against the wall and said, don't you understand you have to have life insurance because I'm advocating for your wife, because if you're gone, life could be miserable. Where was the advocate who advocated for my sisters who were denied a college education at the appropriate time? And where was the advocate even for my father, whose youngest son stands in front of you now? And the only legacy I can tell you my father left us was he left us alone. You have to understand what your sacred trust is. You have to overcome your call reluctance. It has to come from the heart to go out and find people like the elderly woman or my mother, because you have to protect them. You have to help people ask the questions they cannot ask unaided with you, which is, what would happen if I'm not here to be around to take care of my family? And finally, you have permission to be confrontational with people because you're dealing with their most precious asset, their children and their legacy. And if someone is disrespectful of you or treats you like a used car salesman or says you're a pushy salesman, do you know what you tell them? What I do for a living is I protect the innocent when someone dies prematurely. I provide a worry-free retirement that people can't outlive. I protect their assets when they get sick, and I provide legacy when they die, because I, meaning you, live a life of significance. Thank you.